At just 26 years of age, Jaron "Boots" Ennis has already racked up an incredible record of 31 wins and 0 losses. His style is stunning to watch. He always looks as if he's having fun in the ring, using slick footwork to evade shots in an elegant and flowing manner. And with a KO percentage of 87.5, it's clear he's no slack in the power department either. In this video, we will analyze the speed and power of Jaron "Boots" Ennis, showcase just how dangerous he is when he steps into the ring. So let's get started, fight fans. Ennis versus Villa. Most recently, Jaron Ennis took on a tough contender in Roymond Villa, who at the time had a record of 26 wins and just 1 defeat. Ennis was certainly the favorite coming into this fight. No one could predict the speed and power that Ennis would display in the ring. Ennis dictated the fight's pace as early as round 1. He stayed disciplined behind the jab, setting Villa up for brutal power punches, which he started to land with conviction in the middle rounds. The first part of the fight was definitely close, but as time ticked on, the tide was only turning in Ennis' favor. The knockout came in early round 10. Ennis threw a brutal 1-2 combination that sent Villa flying to the canvas instantly. The referee called a stop to the contest to save Villa's health for another day. Once again, Ennis remained undefeated. This fight showed that Ennis' speed and power carried to the later rounds. He's always dangerous in every second of the fight, and all he needs is that one shot to send his opponents to sleep. Ennis versus Clayton. Ennis demolished Clayton in the early stages of 2022. When the two stepped into the ring, Ennis used his jab to maintain the distance and set up power shots onto the chin of Clayton. And Clayton just did not have an answer for this style. The knockout came quickly. Towards the end of round 2, Ennis used the jab to set up a monstrous overhand that landed flush on Clayton's temple. Clayton fell to the canvas immediately. As soon as he touched the floor, there was no way he was getting up anytime soon. Clayton had never been knocked out before stepping into the ring with Ennis. He was and still is a very dangerous and durable fighter. But Ennis was able to make him look like an amateur in the ring, which is a testament to his insane speed and power. Ennis versus Sergey Lipinets. Sergey Lipinets was seen as a very tough opponent for Jaron Ennis. He was a battle-tested, battle-hardened warrior who had seen it all in the ring. But once again, the speed and power of Ennis became the great neutralizer that made none of this matter. As early as round 1, Ennis used his quick hands and feet to set up a sharp counter shot that landed flush with Sergey as he tried to come forward and fight on the inside. He also made use of vicious body hooks, showing his versatility as a fighter. Over time, these counter shots began to add up and started to seriously hurt Lipinets. In round 4, he was put to the canvas by a sharp uppercut. He was able to continue fighting, but it was clear that he never quite recovered from this shot. And in round 6, Ennis threw another lead uppercut that put Lipinets on his back. But this time he was unable to get back to his feet in time. Ennis made relatively light work of a seasoned veteran, once again proved that no one is immune to the dynamite that he possesses in both hands. Ennis versus Abreu. In 2020, Jaron Ennis made quick work of Juan Carlos Abreu, using a mix of speed, power, and superior technique to create a dominating performance. Throughout the bout, Ennis used a variety of punches to keep his opponent guessing. In round 5, he landed a picture-perfect lead uppercut, which sent his opponent flying back to the canvas. Abreu was able to get up, but the onslaught was stopped just a round later after Ennis landed another beautiful uppercut that caused Abreu to stagger like a cartoon character before falling to the canvas. He got up once again, but just a few seconds later, Ennis landed a devastating barrage of shots that sent Abreu to the canvas yet again. The referee waved the fight off immediately. Seriously, this knockout looked dangerous. Ennis made use of every punch in the book to KO Abreu, and his speed and power were frightening to witness. Ennis versus Eyubov. Bakhtiar Eyubov stood zero chance against Ennis when they fought in 2020. As soon as the first bell rang, it was clear how the fight was going to end, as Ennis used his superior speed and boxing IQ to outland Eyubov in virtually every exchange. In the early stages of the fight, Ennis landed literally every punch that he threw, was able to use a Philly shell defense to parry and catch every shot thrown back at him. The onslaught continued for 4 rounds, but by round 4, the referee had seen enough and decided to call a stop to the contest, and for good reason. Eyubov was a punching bag in that fight and absorbed dozens of power punches from Ennis. Credit to Eyubov for remaining in the ring and not going down, but the referee did the right thing by calling a stop to the bout. The speed and power of Ennis were apparent in this fight, but the real highlights were in his sharp defense. This bout showed that he has levels to his game and can use his defense to his advantage. What's next? So what's next for the American? Well, after his win against Villa, Ennis is probably going to struggle to find a fight. He took out Villa in such emphatic style that there's a good chance the other top dogs in the division, like Roca and Stanionis, won't want to fight him and put a loss on their record. As such, we will probably see Ennis face someone like Virgil Ortiz Jr. or Thurman. These won't be bad fights by any means, but this kind of competition just isn't stiff enough for a man like Ennis, especially considering where he is in his career right now. This isn't Ennis's fault. We know he wants to face the best and cement his legacy, but when you drop guys like Villa in the way that he did, you've got to be prepared to scare away all of your competition. We would love to hear what you have to say about Ennis in the comments below. Do you think he's a top contender who could take on the likes of Alexis Roca? Or is he just another contender with a padded record who will fumble as soon as he faces a real challenge? Be sure to jab that like button and give the bell icon a mean left hook. Stay tuned for all things boxing, and we'll see you in the next video, fight fans.